So that's just such a killer blues motif by the jazz saxophonist Joe Henderson. It's from the Sidewinder, a Lee Morgan album, and the tune, the Sidewinder. And with this motif, Joe uses the minor third to the major third as part of his question and answer motif. So the question, the little ascension there. Now the answer, now Joe even goes on on the four chord to include the same motif, and he proceeds to develop that motif into an entire chorus before the solo continues onward. But you know, this motif really gives him a whole chorus worth of material to work with, and it's just such a beautiful passage, you know. And now the Sidewinder, we've got an 8-bar one chord before it moves on to the four chords. So you know, you might check out the tune, the Sidewinder, and the form of it. But this motif that Joe plays comes in on the second bar of the form and is spread out over that 8 bars on the one chord. Now you could certainly truncate the idea and make it a 4-bar passage, you know. So and it would work particularly well. And I was just thinking through tunes in my head that this motif might work well on. And the one that immediately comes to mind is the Herbie Hancock tune, Watermelon Man, you know, and Dexter plays a great solo on Watermelon Man. But this motif, you could transpose it easily to that key and play it on Watermelon Man. And it could be transposed to many keys, you know, and played in many situations. And just the idea works particularly well. So, you know, let's just take another quick look at it. It starts on the root, minor third to major third, and we talked in previous lick lessons on how the minor third to major third is really a big part of that major blues scale kind of sound. But now Joe goes on to he's got that sound, but then he goes on to include the minor 7, very blues sort of sound, and then, and I really like the way that on the opening statement Joe plays 2 Fs, but on the restatement of the idea he plays F G, you know, right out of that major blues scale. And to me, that's just a little nuance in the lick, but I really dig the way that works, you know. So so we've got our question, and then our answer again. And there we hear him come down the minor 7 to the 5 to the 4 to the minor third, back to the 3 to the 1. And you know, if you listen to the recording, you hear how Joe uses the blues time. And we've talked about blues time in a number of these licks before, but you know how he'll kind of stretch out across the time, but he never gets behind. I mean, he's always right in time, even though he's playing with that blues laid back sort of time. So be sure to check out again the album Sidewinder, Lee Morgan, with Joe Henderson. And I think Joe Henderson was like 34 when he did this. He was a young guy, you know, relatively speaking. But there's another great tune on that album, Hocus Pocus, and it's not a blues, but boy, that's a bad tune. So I hope you'll check out Joe Henderson in this setting, and then in many other settings as well. You know, we've got things like the Record May album. I can't think of the name of that album right now, but I'll put it in the subtitle below. And it's just Joe is just one of the all-time great saxophone players. Now, I'm Randy Hunter. Be sure to subscribe to my channel here, my YouTube channel, and visit beginningsax.com to check out my other lessons. And by the way, I do have a Greatest Jazz Sax Blues Motif series that I think you would enjoy here on the YouTube channel.